So everyone, we are here at the Northfield Festival in New York City, or city that we love so much, and we have another filmmaker that he's gonna tell me where he's coming from the U.S. I think you're from the West, right? Or you're from New York?
I'm from New York. I'm from a town called Mount Vernon. My family's from Brazil, so I'm the first generation American in the family. So a bit of a mixed bag question there, yeah.
Nice, buddy. Listen, your film is impressive. Tell us a little bit how your Braising came to life. You know, it's top quality stuff you got right there.
So Braising is a short film that examines groupthink, and that's what I was afraid of. I think a lot of people, when they make a movie, they do it to try and help with their own internal anxiety of some sort, and that's what my short film was, specifically issues with family, with your father, and in that specific realm, but also getting lost in a group of people where you don't have your identity anymore. You just say what the next person thinks. And I think that's applicable to so many things that's going on in today's nation and maybe even in the world on a global level. But yeah, the film examines that sort of mob mentality while trying to shed a light on what happens when you get lost in that. So yeah.
How was the pre-production process? Do you storyboard? Because everything is really organized. You can see it. You can see in films that. How was that process of the pre before you started?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, Darwin. Definitely storyboarded. It was also kickstarted, so we had months ahead of time to make sure finances were put in the places that it needed to be, including the rewards for people who donated to the project as well. So we had posters and stickers and stuff like that, not too dissimilar from a film festival. We try to market it as much as we can and make sure it was like a group effort. Funny enough that the film is about group dynamics too. So we had a long casting process. One individual didn't read the screenplay I gave him, but he ended up doing so good that we gave him the part of the dad because he was just able to do that. One person was a legit front-facing actor. He's been on TV with like Robert De Niro, and he was in the show Gotham and House of Cards. So I wanted to get an actor who's had experience so that I could challenge my directing skills. And I have had one actor who was like just a close friend of mine who happens to be an actor, and I knew he could handle it. And I had an actor who actually knew how to bake and cook, and that was very important for a film about baking and cooking. So all these different actors in the pre-production process were also really fun to try and navigate.
Wow. What about the production? Was it heavy, difficult for you, or tell us a little bit, how many days?
It took about, I think, 5 to 6 days of production. The film is almost 20 minutes long, and one of the hardest days when we were shooting outside, it was a very hot day, and we had to shoot inside of a tent, which only magnified the heat, so everybody was sweating, everybody had to take their clothes off. It was very uncomfortable, and we were shooting from 6 a.m. to I think 11 p.m., so it was more than a 12-hour day. It was just insane. And then some things didn't work out with kitchen scenes, so we had to go and find a different kitchen, and I had to pay the local cook just to flip burgers and stuff like that for an hour. So random stuff like that that I wanted to make sure was right. We had to shoot folks who looked like they were unhoused, so I got two friends of mine to just put on their worst clothes, and we went to a park and then just shot them for an hour. So little things like that amounted to a lot of little bits of work in addition to those long 12-hour days. So it was pretty hectic, but it was fun.
What about the post-production? I mean, you think post-production is the most difficult part in filmmaking of the three phases we have, or what do you think?
So I'm a video editor by trade, so I work commercially usually, but I love narratives. So I've worked in every kind of commercial, wedding, social media, Macy's, Disney, Viacom, NFL. I've been in a whole bunch of different places. So video editing isn't that difficult for me, but it is technically, but it is difficult in the sense that now you're trying to pick the best parts, and you have to be very careful of what the audience is going to feel from each part and how those interlock. So I think it's difficult in its own way. I think pre-production is difficult because you have to do a lot of paperwork and all that other stuff, and that's not really fun for some people. But production is heavy, it's quick, but it's like grueling days and hours, and you know, sometimes the catering isn't that great. And post-production is the longest one, but at least you're in your home and you can take your time with it. So I think they're all difficult in their own ways.
What's next? What are you working on now?
Yeah, so I'm working on a few things. I'm working on making this short into a feature. I have a producer who's trying to get into some hands. I'm working on some projects as well. I'm working on some writing projects, and funny enough, I founded my own film festival in the town that I live in.
I saw that.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to take cues from you, man. So my specific town has a lot of potential for. It's outside of the city, and it's been used a lot in films, but nobody knows about the town. So I'm trying to do as much as I can in the narrative world, whether it's underscoring people's films in a film festival or trying to get my own projects out there. So I'm always working, always hustling.
Brian, we are happy to have you. Thanks for being in the festival. You're an amazing filmmaker. You know, I saw your work, and I wish you the best. And let's be in contact.
Thank you, and you're a cool man, dude. You've been very sweet with everybody here. Been mad jovial, so good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Huh?
You got it, man.